All right, I am in St. Petersburg, Florida to race St. Anthony's triathlon turned duathlon. And the race is tomorrow. I'm at my Airbnb getting my stuff together for the race. I've been here since Wednesday and it's now Saturday. Done a lot of swim, bike, run, and seeing people since I used to live here. I just moved from here in January, and tomorrow I'll run, bike, run. I've gotten asked about the swimming canceled, if this plays in my favor or not, quite a bit from friends and other people in triathlon. I don't know where I'm at across swim, bike, and run. That's part of the reason I'm doing this race, is to learn from it and better prepare myself for the first 70.3 that I do. But I think one thing I am strong in is tough conditions, so hopefully that helps me. I did escape from Alcatraz last year in some really rough conditions. It was pouring rain, storming, couldn't see anything, and I had a really good race. So I think sometimes that plays in my favor. I like to grit it out. Then yeah, maybe that'll help me. Maybe it won't. I think St. Anthony's is special because this is the first triathlon I did last year, and I think 2.5 or 3 years I kind of took a break from racing. I mean, COVID, and then I started working right after college, and I was really focused on work, so I had a lot of race deferrals, and I just didn't race. And then I moved to Florida. I hadn't swam in a year, and I met some people at an open water swim on Wednesday night, and then just happened to be someone who started a triathlon club here, and she got me a race entry, and I was like, oh, sure, I'll do it. So it was something that got me back into triathlon after not racing for quite a while, and it's cool to do this race again now that I'm training with a professional group of athletes and with a coach. And so it's just cool to come full circle 1 year later when I hadn't done a race in 2.5 years, and now I'm in a different spot in triathlon. So of course I'm nervous. I struggled a bit my first 2 months in Boulder. I wasn't training well. I was hardly swimming, and obviously I don't have to swim tomorrow anymore, but I was inconsistently running, and I wasn't doing any hard training because I just was nutrient deficient and couldn't do that. So I just wasn't training well, and I felt good for about 2 weeks before I left for Florida, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And yeah, so I'm nervous. I really don't know where I'm at, but I think I just trust that I've done everything that I need to do to like make sure transition has all this stuff. I'm not just like missing something, or make sure my bike is charged and the computer is charged. Like all those boxes are checked, and then when you get to race morning, like there's nothing you can do to change your preparation or your training. So you just have to trust in what you have and go for it. I think I'm pretty stoic, so people might not be able to tell, but I definitely have some nerves going on before a race. I also think that one race doesn't define anything, and I guess for me triathlon was always just fun. Like I do obviously work, and it was a way for me to personally challenge myself and compete against myself and of course other people, but one race isn't gonna ruin my life or anything like that. So I like to just go out there and enjoy it, and I guess that helps. Like whatever happens. Of course, I don't want to make silly mistakes, but yeah, just have fun. Yeah, now I'll make some more food, maybe my third dinner, and then actually I'm very hungry, not at altitude. Fun fact, no appetite at altitude, big appetite at sea level, so it's good pre-race nutrition. And then I'll double check all my stuff, and yeah, we'll update you on race day.
I've been on a vibe.
So today the race started at 8, which is later than usual, and transition closed at 7:30. I like to get to a race as late as possible, so I think I got there a little before 7. I woke up at 4:30. When races are standard 7 a.m. start, like everything an hour earlier, I'll wake up usually at 3 or 3:30, so everything was just pushed an hour for me. I had my normal breakfast that I've been eating every day, which is zucchini, eggs, ground beef, and cheese. I don't know if that was the right decision before a race, but I do train in the morning, usually like 2 hours after I eat, and I've been training fine. Obviously, my workouts aren't as hard as a full race effort, but yeah, I had breakfast. I did my bike warm up on the trainer here, and then I had oatmeal. Probably not enough, probably could have eaten more, but once you get close to a race, you start to not want to eat because your stomach just kind of like rejects food. So, or that happens to me, so I didn't really eat as much maybe as I should have then, and then left for the race at like 6:35. Got there, walked to the transition, set my stuff up for run bike run. So no swim stuff, less towels, and then I did my run warm up at 7:30. So like 40 minutes before I started, had one more applesauce, and then waited at the start line. So we actually started time trial start, so in the open wave, so 4 people at a time, men and women, were in the same wave for open, and I did not want to be the first female to go. I'd rather start behind, because in the end it's when you cross the timing mat. So if someone starts 10 seconds before me, then and I then pass them in the race, I still have 10 seconds on them. So I went to the back of the line, and there were few enough people that it's not like you're running through a huge crowd, so that was fine. And then, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was in the race coming off that first run, but not like overdoing it. So I think I ran like 5:45 per mile. And then, yeah, I was the second female on the bike, I think. The girl in front of me started 10 seconds before me. It was windy. Lots of crosswinds. Sometimes I didn't know that I was gonna continue riding upright on my bike, but I just kept pedaling, held the arrow, and hope for the best. Just keep moving forward. And then I think I have some work to do with getting my feet in my shoes right away, or quicker, or whatever. Just more practice has to be done there. That took me a little bit. I made a couple wrong turns on the bike. I'm not sure how much time it cost me, but kind of kills your momentum a little bit. So a little disappointing, but I'll learn from that and hopefully know a course better, or just know to know a course better beforehand, or even just ask someone, like shout before I come to a turn if I'm not sure in the future. So yeah, it was a pretty tough bike with the wind, but I think I rode as hard as I could, and yeah, it is what it is. So first I was just happy to get off my bike safely. That was the main goal for the race. Well, not main goal, but with the weather, it was a goal. And then ran into T2. I ran straight past my bike rack and had to turn around. And then a little mishap with where my bike should be racked, and it's all right. Not everyone racks their bike correctly. And then I put my shoe on the wrong foot to start. So that was a little rough, but I'll probably never do that again. At least I hope I'll never do that again. And then yeah, I probably had a 30-second slower transition than what I would have liked, but I make mistakes and then usually never make them again. So I'll learn from that and move on.
So you get out onto the run, out of T2, onto the run. You have two ladies who are pretty close to you. Like, what's your mindset? What's your strategy? How are you approaching the first half of the run?
I don't want to go out too hard because I know that my run fitness is probably not where maybe other people's are or where it could be in the future, since I only started really running hard in Boulder maybe 3 weeks ago. So even though I saw the girl in front of me running away a little bit, I could still see her, but I knew she was running faster than me. I didn't really want to just sprint to catch up to her and then totally fall apart. I think I wanted to stick to the plan and not go out crazy hard. It was hot, the sun came out, and I knew I was a bit under fueled. My stomach wasn't feeling that great going into the run, so I knew that was gonna play a factor in how hard I'd even be able to run. So yeah, I just tried to race my own race. I really like out and back, so getting to a turnaround is motivating for me, but this run course, I think we had a headwind coming back, tailwind going out, or just more wind in the face on the way back. So I was slower on the way back, and I think I would have liked to have been able to run a bit faster going back, like build into the run, but I don't know how much the wind played a factor. I knew that I was starting to get pretty hot. I was thirsty. I didn't take any water because I was kind of worried I'd maybe vomit if I put anything in my stomach. I know I have to work on nutrition a little bit. I don't think what I used maybe works for me anymore. So yeah, I just ran as hard as I could for the last bit. I think the 4th mile was a little tough, but once I got to 2 miles left, you're so close. So just whatever, go for it.
For you personally, are you proud of your performance?
I think so. I don't know. It was a duathlon, so I didn't really know what to expect. Not sure how it would have gone if I had a swim, but yeah, it was a good day. I had fun. Can learn a lot. Was happy to be back in Florida. Had some cheers from old friends, which is amazing. And I'm sure when I look at maybe some of the data from the race and talk with Ian, there are many more things that we can learn from this, and that was a big reason I decided to race this race, even though I haven't been training that well for a while. So yeah, I know the mistakes I made and what I can already learn, but I think Ian will give me more insight as well. I'll go back to Boulder tomorrow, so Monday after the race, and I will race Boulder 70.3 I think in 5 weeks. I have a lot of work to do before then. I know some of the things I definitely need to figure out, and then yeah, just hopefully stack more good training ahead of a race that's a lot longer and at altitude.